overlapping gestures. Speech is always connected. Segments do not take place in isolation. And this connectivity is, a process where there is a lot of overlapping involved. Overlapping is when one segment is actually taking place inside the other. And that's overlapping or interfaces. These are very interesting in speech description. All right. Articulation is a process, and this process is basically in movement shape, right? It's not static. It's in movement shape because the articulatory positions, they are gestures, right? That's why we are calling them gestures, because there are targets and we are trying to achieve that target. But the target is, achieved when there are some more targets involved, right? So that's an interesting part of this speech analysis, all right? Not as a static position. If you just try to pronounce these words like bib, did, and gig, right? So the in-between vowel, which is a in bib, did, and gig, it is overlapping, and it is very much influenced by the context. Like in the case of bib, the b sound is, just taking it towards more of the position of bilabial, right? And in the case of this did, since did is an alveolar sound, it is also taking that, front vowel towards more of the alveolar position. And then also in the case of gig, when a gig is involved, it's pronounced from the velum, the velar sound. So the it sound is also taking some influence from that. And the gestures of consonants and vowels, they also overlap. At times, the consonants like stops and fricatives, they are reducing vowels, and then they also take some features from the adjacent consonants. Like in the case of lamb, the a sound, the a vowel, it is just acquiring some nasal features, right, because of m. So this overlapping and co-articulation is really important. There are some more examples like the lip rounding. If you just see in word twice, right? So this lip rounding, which is in W sound, wo, right? But that is also taking place in t, right? Similarly, in dwindle. So this d sound is influenced by the lip rounding of wo. And same is the case with quick, because the k sound is also taking some features from this W sound, wo, quick. So that's overlapping, and it's very much interesting and also very important for the students of phonetics and phonology. And that's because of the process that the second gesture starts when the first gesture is not yet finished. So that's very important. You see, in word quick, right? The W starts when the k sound is not yet finished in a very simple manner, right? So you can understand this, that this is like the co-articulation. And lip rounding is also found in words like tree, right, or dream, and also for other words where the r sound is taking place. So this lip rounding is taken from r, and that's an important analysis for phoneticians, right? Just compare these two words, dream and deem, right? So dream is more, there is a more lip rounding involved, but in the case of deem, there is no lip rounding. Right? So articulation is a movement towards certain targets. The targets are the aim, which is to be achieved by the speaker, right? But while achieving that aim, there are some overlapping which are involved, right? And these are the features which you can just see that how the articulatory gestures are overlapping. If you just see for the b, which is there, like this b is from the lips, both lips are touching each other, they are creating the air pressure. But when it is in words like, this bib, then the tongue position, there are various possibilities, you see. It could be overlapping with other vowels. So this overlapping is an interesting part of communication specifically, and then in phonetics and phonology. And then also in the case of d, when the alveolar ridge is the target, right? So it is touching the target, but there are some overlapping found at the center of the tongue, and then also you just see at the dorsal level of the tongue. So that's overlapping is also an important point. And then also in the case of g, which is a velar sound, right? So the tongue, while achieving g, that g is influenced by the adjacent vowels, and that overlapping is taking place. So the analysis of this overlapping is quite an important phenomenon in phonetics and phonology.